I still remember in 2010 when Nintendo celebrated the 25th anniversary of Mario. They've generally celebrated Mario's anniversary every 5 years, and I don't really expect this year to be much different. So far in 2025, we've gotten a theme park opening in Orlando, a Mario Party expansion that's apparently a mixed bag, and Mario Kart World, a game with a soundtrack so good they charged $80 for it. I actually think of Mario Kart World as the sort of starting point of the anniversary, since through retro tracks and the soundtrack, the game celebrates the history of Mario. Then of course, if you like Mario adjacent stuff like Donkey Kong, then you've been eating fantastically this year. I'd go as far to say that if the Mario and DK stuff is all we get this year, then I'll be satisfied. But that's why the prospect of Mario's 40th anniversary is so exciting. We might be in for a bit more. So, here's a few things I can see happening as part of an anniversary celebration. Please note that I don't expect all of these things to happen. I expect maybe the first point I talk about, and then 2 more at most. Number 1, Mario and Wario on Switch 2 through Nintendo Switch Online. This game makes use of the SNES mouse, and now we have a console with built-in mouse support. Mario and Wario only came out in Japan, so Nintendo could advertise it as a lost Mario game from the creators of Pokémon for people overseas. I originally wrote a section here about Mario paints, but the game got announced with mouse features while I was making the video. Whoops! Well, there's still another Mario paint idea I have for the anniversary. Number 2, we get a Mario Paint successor. One reason I could see this not happening is because of the DK Artist mode being a portion of that, but I still think this is a pretty big possibility. A Mario Paint successor with more flair than Welcome Tour and opportunities for more creativity would be cool. With Mario Maker and Game Builder Garage, Nintendo has been building up creativity for its Switch user base. I think a new Mario Paint using the mouse would be a smart way to sell consumers on the new controller method. And maybe make it a budget title. People were delightfully surprised when Drag X Drive was announced to only be $20. The only other Nintendo games I can think of recently that were priced like this were the Kirby spin-offs. I think having a cheaper Mario game would be a good way to throw a bone to the consumer after that. But there's another subset of Mario games that I think could use the mouse. Number 3, Mario Maker 2 gets a Switch 2 upgrade, or we get Mario Maker 3. At the bare minimum, I would love mouse support for Mario Maker 2. Making levels would be far more enjoyable, and then the game could still be played on Switch 1 without compatibility issues. But it's been 6 years since Mario Maker 2 came out. The original Mario Maker was Nintendo's 30th anniversary title, and it did a good job celebrating Mario's history. A Mario Maker 3 could continue that trend. And there's some rumors about Mario Maker 2's development. You know how it says extra game styles and there was only one? The rumor goes that the Super Mario Bros. 2 mushroom was meant to be its own style. But a certain world event during 2020 led to those plans being axed. But that means there might potentially be a bunch of scrapped work on Mario Maker 2 that could be repurposed from Mario Maker 3. And of course, we've had a new 2D Mario game since then. A Wonder style would be a ton of fun, maybe even with custom Wonder effects. But that's 2D history. What about 3D? Number 4, 3D All-Stars and the Missing Game. In 2010, Nintendo re-released an SNES ROM on a disc and sold it for $40. Bleh. In 2020, we got the better, but still disappointing to many, Mario 3D All-Stars. But with context, I'm still pretty happy with the game we got. Nintendo of Europe only had a few months to get this game working, and after updates to fix Sunshine stuff, I think they did a good job in the time given. I love the Galaxy port in this game, but its price point relative to a lack of extra content was a common complaint. The other big complaint was its limited release. You could only buy this game for a few months and then it was gone forever. Nintendo did this with Mario 35, 3D All-Stars, and Fire Emblem 1 of all games. Nintendo hasn't done this since, so I think they've realized the limited release model is kind of stupid. So first, I think Mario 3D All-Stars is going to permanently be released from limited release hell. But what about the people that already own the game? That'd be a pretty mellow way to celebrate the anniversary. Well, another rumor goes around that there's a reason a certain Mario game was excluded the first time. Between 2020 being 2020 and a rushed deadline, the rumor goes that we did not get Super Mario Galaxy 2 due to time constraints. Galaxy 1 is not pure emulation. The gameplay part of it in 3D All-Stars is ported code. Galaxy 2 would need the same treatment. Plus, the cursor is more important in Galaxy 2 due to Yoshi. A better solution for handheld mode would be needed to figure out the cursor. Use the C-stick. Here's what I think. 3D All-Stars gets re-released with the new standard game price of $70. It also has Galaxy 2 in it. But people who bought the game originally at $60 will get Galaxy 2 for free with no extra charge. The reason I think a 3D All-Stars re-release could happen is because after Donkey Kong, I'd imagine Nintendo needs more time to cook the next 3D Mario game. This and /or a Mario Maker 3 would be a way to get some anniversary sales in the interim. But that's for stuff that could release this year. There's things that might not release this year that I could see having announcements. Number 5. Mario Movie 2 gets a trailer. Despite what I said earlier about not expecting everything I say to happen, I fully expect this to happen. The second Mario movie is set to release in April 2026. With news of a Donkey Kong spin-off, it seems like the Mario films are in full swing. As you can tell by my new channel name, I like Yoshi, so I was actually one of the only people hyped about the post-credit scene of the first movie. But also, I watch a lot of movies. I'm not one of those Mario is peak cinema people. I just thought the movie was fun. I hope we can get a Mario movie with a slightly more substantial story. Especially after Donkey Kong Bonanza demonstrated you can have a mainline-style Mario work with emotional resonance beyond a side mode. But that's not the only thing we could get a trailer for. Number 6. We get a new 3D Mario trailer. 3D World plus Bowser's Fury did not make it to the Switch in time for 2020. But we did get a trailer. I think we could see a small trailer for a new 3D Mario. Despite what I said about Donkey Kong, important staff from EAD, like Yoshiaki Koizumi, were not on the dev team for the game. So, it would make sense if a new 3D Mario was being made behind the scenes. As for what it could be, well, a certain game is getting a bit old. When I was a kid, Super Mario Galaxy was the newest Mario game. People my age adore that game, and now we're adults with disposable incomes. New Super Mario Bros. Was for people who grew up with Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Odyssey was for people who grew up with Super Mario 64. I think Galaxy is next. I don't know if they'd call it Galaxy 3, but I do think the next 3D Mario will have Galaxy-inspired design. Alright, those are all the big things, but I have a few more small things I want to touch on. Number 7. Mario Kart gets some DLC. I think this is inevitable, but first and foremost, there's gonna be some Donkey Kong content. I think that will be the main focus. I think within the year, we can expect to see some costumes celebrating the anniversary, but I don't know if we'll get much beyond that in 2025. And number 8, a Mario Wonder Switch 2 upgrade. My friend Mondo Mega spotted that Mario Wonder was removed from a backwards compatibility mural. The other games removed were games that have Switch 2 versions, and Switch Sports, which has compatibility issues. Couple this with Mario U getting a resolution bump and Mario Wonder not getting one, and it seems like a Switch 2 edition of Mario Wonder is imminent. The game also doesn't run offline following the newest Switch 2 update, so something seems up. I have no idea what this could bring, but the prospect is exciting. Those are all the things that I think could, not will, happen for Mario's 40th anniversary. Do you have any ideas for what could happen? Please leave them in the comments. I'd love to discuss. This is one of the first videos I'm making for this new channel. Thanks for watching. I have more videos planned where I'm gonna talk about Nintendo stuff. Stuff like obscure features in Yoshi games, and some things I like about some Fire Emblem games. I want to cover a bunch of different games. If that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel.